Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Yvonne Princess Shabangu. If you're new here, you're welcome to like, subscribe, share, and comment. And voila, you are part of the graceful, beautiful, and faithful family. If you want to know all things positivity, all things lifestyle, all things belief, law, and employment and entertainment, this is the place to be. So let's get on it. Firstly, Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, photograph. Happy New Year. Hey. Yo. Yeah, ngazingaphumula yo guys. Anyway, Happy New Year. So guys, today we're going to talk about something that we all neglect. Particularly, it's supposed to be done in the beginning of the year and we neglect it all the damn time. And I'm sure you guys are thinking, I'm going to talk about weight loss, I'm going to talk about vision boards. No, I'm not going to talk about weight loss. Weight loss is somewhere on the videos, vision boards are somewhere on the videos, so we're not talking about that. Today we are going to talk about the essence of setting goals, short-term, long-term, and generational goals. And then we're also going to talk about the importance of planning your year, right? And I know that it's going to seem like it's a vision board, but it's not. Before you even get to a vision board, you have to plan how you want your year to look like, how you want things to be done, how and what you want to achieve, and how you will achieve those things, right? So let's start. Step number one, it's very important that you plan your year from January to December. That's if you sort of know and have an idea how your year is going to turn out. You know, from your leave days, traveling, like some of us, they say we have intentions of traveling quite a lot. So we have to plan now so that we have a budget for it. So we're able to know where we're going to, at what time, how many leave days we require for that and all of that. So plan your time. And you can't plan without a diary, without a notebook, without a planner. You need that. So you're going to need your pen, you're going to need a diary or a planner. Some people believe in calendars, big calendars, planners, year planners, and some people believe in collages where they actually like draw a diagram or paragraphs of how they're gonna go through their year. So you do what works for you. I'm not big on calendars. I probably don't know where my big planner calendar is. So I'm big on diaries, journals, and stuff like that. So I'd rather say, okay, January, this is what I want to do, and this is how I'm going to do it. So that's what you can do. Days and how long it's going to take you. Like for instance, I have intentions of okay, I said I'm not going to talk about weight loss, but anyway, I have intentions of losing a certain amount of kgs, right? Because my friend is getting married in March. So I've already set it out. How many times am I supposed to go to the gym, and how long is this like amount of weight going to take me to lose weight? Like let's just say I want to lose about 8 kgs. Normally in a month you can lose healthy 2 kgs. So it means in 3 months I can lose 6 kgs, but if I push in I can get my 8 kgs. So it means I have to be at the gym 4 times. Where does that leave me? I need to know what time am I going to wake up. I need to have a routine to say, okay, I'm going to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, study my Bible, pray, and then go to the gym, and then have a 1 hour or 2 session, and then go to work. And then when I come back, if I still want to go back to gymming, same thing. Because here's another chat. If you haven't planned something or written it down and made it plain, there is no way you are going to be able to fulfill it easily. And when I say write it down, I'm not saying in your mind or in conversation. Put it down where you can easily access it or where you can see it, so that every now and then you adjust your plans. Every now and then you're able to see what's the direction. Because if it's not written down, you don't have direction. Imagine just deciding, I want to lose weight. So you won't be able to know whether I've achieved my weight goal or whatever the case may be if you don't have a particular amount of weight you want to lose. So you must set specific and be bold in your goals, right? And then in all of that, drink water, guys. There's a lot going on here. Anyway, guys, drink water. It's very important that you stay hydrated, because I know it's December time and a lot of people didn't drink much water. People were waking up getting champagne. I don't know why people were doing that. I'm not part of the people. I am Yvonne. I am not people. So, like, there was a lot of drinking of alcohol during December. So I hope you guys are drinking your water. You back into motion and plan. Like, I think it can sound tedious, you know. The other time I was laughing, actually, I just remembered. like my sister had like this thing, like I don't even know what they call it, but where she was putting her tablets in that I written Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. For me, it was like so dumb because I was like, why would you do that? You can wake up in the morning, take your meds. But when I think about it now, the fact that it's there and it's already prepared, she doesn't have to wake up every morning and look for her meds. She knows Monday, here's my Monday morning, afternoon, night. It's done and sorted. Like that's also being organized and planning your stuff. Even in basic things like plan your week. What do you intend on wearing? How do you intend your week to go about? What do you intend on achieving this coming week? Plan all of those things, right? And then how planning also can help you. It helps you see where you are lacking. It helps you see what you're achieving and how much you're doing well and how much you're not doing well and all of that, right? And then the heat of the topic, guys, ne? The heat of the topic is setting your goals. So before you set your goals, you must know there's 3 categories we learned in life orientation, right? For those that use the same curriculum as me, but like it's called life orientation. There's long-term, medium-term, and short-term goals. So you start from your short-term, medium-term, long-term. Usually short-term is what you want to achieve within like 1-2 year, actually within a couple of months, maybe say from 3 months to a year. And then when you go to your medium-term goals, is between like a year and your 5 years. That's how I structure mine. And then long-term, 10 years, 15 years. So usually these goals are connected, right? You can't reach to your long-term goal if you didn't do something in your short-term goal. So you really need to be mindful what you said. But there's something that changed about those 3 factors, right? I'm no longer on medium-term goals. So for me, it's now short, long-term, and generational goals, right? And these are inspired by Sarah Robert Jack's generational goals, long-term, short-term. You guys are familiar. I was not familiar with generational goals, but now I'm familiar. So first of all, in your planner or in your diary or wherever you're going to jot it down on your collage, you're going to need to ask yourself, what is my short-term goal and how does it impact the next person, and how does it impact my family, and how does it impact me now? Because another thing, if you set a goal and it's all about self-gratification, then forget it. Those are just dreams and it's selfish, because usually the goals that we set, eventually you must be a blessing to the world. Eventually they must impact your surroundings, because you're connected to everything you are and everything you are everything you spend your time around. Actually, we are connected as a world, nature, humans, and animals, and all of that. We are all connected. So you must be mindful how your goal setting actually affects other people, right? There's a scripture that I have for you so that you can see that actually these things are interlinked and interconnected, né? So this is how it reads. Give me a sec, guys. So it's from Paul wrote in the book of Romans 12 verse 1-2, and he said, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. This is what Paul said, right? And then Sarah Robert Jakes breaks down this verse into short-term, long-term, and generational goals, right? So in the short-term goal, he says, the part that says present your bodies as a sacrifice to God, that's a short-term goal. You can wake up today and then you're like, hey, I want to give myself to Christ, and voila, you've given yourself to Christ. No works, no justification. It's just a conscious decision that you take. That's your short-term goal, right? And then long-term goal, it says be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You renew your mind every single day from the things you watch, the people you listen to, the books you read. So it's ongoing. That's why we will say it's long-term. And then when we say generational goals, prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. When you've worked yourself and when you've accepted and taken salvation personal, people that come after you actually follow those chess steps, because they say, oh, actually, I want to be like Auntie Yvonne, I want to be like my mom Yvonne, I want to be like my sister Yvonne, because I've seen God's hand in her life. So that's how it works, right? And then in a more realistic and everyday world, your short-term goals would be like, I want to wake up at 5 a.m. So you can wake up at 5 a.m. tomorrow, and then your long term becomes discipline and consistent, because this is something that you need to maintain every single day, right? If you tell yourself the whole year I want to do 5 a.m. club without failure, then it becomes long term. And then look at generational. You look at things like wealth. You know, you sit down and you're like, actually, I want to create wealth for my family. I want to leave a space in my family where they have generational wealth, where people after me can never be broke ever again, right? And that stems where short-term goal would be you saving the little that you have. You may not have 50 million, you may not have 50,000, but you decide, you take a conscious decision to say, actually, I don't have a lot, but I'm going to take this 10 rand and put it in my savings. One day, 10 years down the lane, it'll be some money that I can use to start a business for my family or start something. And then within the medium term goal, you actually be disciplining yourself to be consistent, to be diligent in your savings, whether you feel like it or whether you don't, or whether there's emergencies or whether there isn't, but you actually consciously decide to actually own up to your goal that you have set up, right? And I think of all these goals, the short-term goal, the medium-term goal, the short-term, long-term, and the generational goals, right? These things are interlinked. They're married to one another. It's impossible for you to reach your generational goal if you don't have a short term of it. So I think every goal we have in our lives, it's actually it comes in parts. At some point I wanted to graduate. That was like sort of short term, low-key, long, medium term. I graduated. From graduating, I wanted to do my articles. This is where I'm at, right? This is my medium term goal. I'm going to be done with my articles soon. From articles, I want to get admitted. You know, that's another set of goal. From admission, I actually want to maybe start up my own firm, or I want to make director or partner. That's a long term. And where does it lead? It leads to generational wealth. Given that I put in the work as a lawyer, or I put in the work as an entrepreneur, or I put in the work as a leader in my society, or whichever way I come about, or even I put in the work on this channel, you know. So it is very important in the beginning of the year that you decide what is it that you want to achieve, you know, because even Habakkuk 2 verse 2 says, write it down. And it also applies to your vision boards if you're making one. Write it down and make it plain and run with it. You cannot achieve something that you don't know. That's why you'd find, like in a law perspective, you're given instruction. You can't perform without instruction. You have no idea what's going on. And instruction will give you an idea of what your principal expects from you, what your principal wants you to do, or how they want you to do something. So you need to ensure that your things are written down. Or if you are a person not of writing, or a person not of words, because I know some people are not of words, put it in picture format, you know, and not a collage per se, because sometimes collages can be a lot. A flow chart, you know, you can just do a flow chart. We used to do a lot of flow charts in high school, whereby you start actually 2022, you write what you want to do, and then you let it flow to 2023, you let it flow to 2024, 2025, all the way, and then you actually put pictures of where you'd want to see yourself, you know. So it's very, very, very important you set your goals, and always remember that your short-term goals and long-term goals, they do affect your generational goals. Another example would be people that want to buy homes. You don't wake up and say, actually, I'm going to get a bond and I want to buy a home. This may work for you. You may qualify for credit. I mean, credit givers are always ready to give credit, but you need to place yourself in an environment whereby, actually, let me see within this year, how much can I save of my house deposit to actually make it easier for me, so that even when I'm paying for my bond, I don't pay so much that I can't live an enjoyable life, or whatever the case may be. It goes back to a car. A lot of people buy cars, no deposit, which is fine. If that's what you want to do, it's okay. But plan prior. Ask yourself, this car that I want to buy, how much petrol does it consume? And how much are the parts? What am I going to consume? Like, how am I going to service the car? Is it expensive? Is it less expensive? How much mileage, if you're buying second hand, how much mileage is it? Plan around those things, and then put in your deposit. And ask yourself, how much deposit do I want to put in? Usually it's 10%, but it doesn't always have to be 10%. You can tell yourself, actually, I want a car so badly, but I don't have to have it now. So this year, I can decide to save up maybe 4,000 rand, or the installment that I'm supposed to pay in the following year. And then take all that amount and actually put into the deposit in the following year. So plan as much as you can, because when you plan, you always go back. And the nice thing about planning or writing things down, you can always adjust them to wherever you are, because as people, we grow, we evolve, plans change, environments change. So if you have written something down, you're able to go back to it and actually say, oh no, I don't want to do this anymore. Even with like for instance, to-do list, it goes back to planning and being organized. If you wake up in the morning and decide I'm going to work, but you don't write down the things you need to do or set up the things you need to do and time yourself, then it becomes problematic, because planning, organizational skills, they teach you time management skills, which is one of the most important skills ever in the world. If you can't manage your time, then it's going to be difficult for you to get anything done, because you're always going to be working under pressure, or you're always going to be left behind, or you're always going to be fatigued. But if you sit down and actually say, okay, I draft quite a lot, I'm in the litigation department, I need to sit down and be like, okay, how long does it take me to draft summons? If it takes me an hour, I need to work on a way it can take me 45 minutes, or 30 minutes, or stuff like that. Just time yourself, plan, and be organized. Don't be a person to do things last minute, or you're a person of instant gratification, because we live in an environment where, in a generation where instant gratification is a thing, whereby you wake up and you're like, you know what? Today I want to buy a Mercedes. You go and buy, you don't know the kind of product it is. You don't you're clueless, So it's very, 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 very important that you plan. Set your goals. And when you set your goals, short-term, long-term, medium-term, some generational goals, some, right? When you set them, take them and present them to God and ask God to give you a further direction. Because sometimes we set our own goals for our own selfish needs. But if we take it and give it to God and say, God, this is what I've set for myself. This is what I've set for 2022. Give me direction. Is this your will for my life? Is this what you want me to do? Is this what you're happy with? And if God approves, he will fund all your dreams. Because that's another thing. God does not fund a vision that's not his. God will always, without failure, fund a God vision. If you have a God vision, God will fund it for you. He will bring people in your life to help you carry out the vision. But if you have not presented it to him, it becomes weird, because like, Haibo, this child, I'm telling her to go to, and what's the story? Remind me, the fish. Nineveh. Oh, yeah, yes, I'm telling this child to go to Nineveh. She's going to Tashisha and all of that, So take your plans, give them to God, and you'll see what God can do. Don't forget to plan, because I know most of you are back to kind regarding this week. It's 10th. Some people are going back in on the 10th of January. And I wish you guys all the best in your work. Don't forget also to pray at your workplaces. People are weird. We work with weird people. We are surrounded by weird people. So if you are not praying, I don't know what you're doing. Wherever you are, your workspace, your building, pray, affirm words of power, affirm things you want to achieve out of the place, because people are strange out there. And if you are not protecting yourself through the word of God or whatever you believe in, then I don't know, because hey, it's tense out here. But yeah, don't forget to be loved, don't forget to be light, don't forget to be kindness, and have a beautiful and an awesome year. I love you so much. God bless.